Hare Krishna, Komadiki Mataji.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram.
I think Komadiki Mataji cannot hear us, Mataji. Priti Mataji, can you hear me?
Yeah, I think she can't hear us.
Yeah, today she has her internet problem, I think, Mataji. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Mataji, please.
Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhyeva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaः. Hare Krishna, I welcome everyone to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. Thank you all so much for joining us today and giving us your very valuable association. May I know who all are on the call today? Oh, Mataji has come. Okay. Mataji, you can take over. Kamadiki Mataji, introduction.
Okay, thank you. May I know who all have joined the call this morning?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Some glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajas and all the assembled Vaishnavas. This is Kirti Dasundari.
I should have. Please forgive me, all of you. Thank you, Mataji, Kirti Dasundari Mataji, for joining. Hare Krishna. And please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Sorry to please forgive me for your interrupting your aesthetic chanting.
Hare Krishna, Kamadiki Mataji. Hare Krishna, Kamadiki Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Srila Prabhupada Ki Guru Maharaj Ki Jai, Priti Dasi from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Priti Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Always to Srila Prabhupada and goes to Guru Maharaj and all the devotees. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to the assembled devotees. Yashamati from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yashamati Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Always to Srila Prabhupada and goes to Guru Maharaj and all the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Is there anyone else who would like to?
Hare Krishna Mataji, my Dandavat pranams to you and all the assembled devotees. Guru Maharaj ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai. This is Shivani from Asheville, Virginia. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shivani Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and glories to Guru Maharaj and all the devotees. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. And thank you for joining the call. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha Japa Conference. Today's class will be given by His Grace Adi Ramgiridhari Prabhuji on the topic of Sri Caitanya Bhagavata, 102 and chapter 1 onwards. I mean, chapter 2 and text 1 onwards. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. And enlightening us on the topic. Please, I hand over the call to you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thai Gaurav Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So, reading from Chaitanya Bhagavata, chapter 2, titled The Lord's Appearance. We'll read from text 1 through text 6. We will only read the shloka and translation, and we will try to churn the nectar as much as I could, relate to and that I can offer as a service. Text 1. Jaya Jaya Mahaprabhu Gaura Sundara. Jaya Jagannatha Putra Maha Maheshwara. All glories to Mahaprabhu Sri Gaura Sundara. All glories to the son of Jagannath Mishra, the Lord of all Lords. Jaya Nityananda Gadadharera Jivanam. Jaya Jaya Advaitadi Bhaktera Sharanam. All glories to the life and soul of Nityananda and Gadadhara. All glories to the shelter of the devotees headed by Advaita Prabhu. Bhakta Goshti Sahita Gauranga Jaya Jaya. Sunile Chaitanya Kata Bhakti Labhya Haya. All glories to Lord Gauranga along with his associates. By hearing the topics of Sri Chaitanya, one attains devotional service to the Lord. Text 4. Punak Bhakta Sanghe Prabhu Pade Namaskara. Spuruka Jihvaya Gaura Chandra Avatara. I again offer my obeisances at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya and his devotees. Let the topics of Sri Gaura Chandra become manifest on my tongue. Jaya Jaya Sri Karuna Sindhu Gaura Chandra. Jaya Jaya Sri Seva Vigraha Nityananda. All glories to Sri Gaura Chandra, the ocean of mercy. All glories to Nityananda Prabhu, the personification of devotional service. Avijñāta tattvadui bhāyāra bhaktam tatapi kripāya tattva karena suvyaktam. Although the truths of the two brothers and their devotees are incomprehensible, they can be realized by the mercy of their lordships. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yenam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namahom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. First of all, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much for giving me this service on a regular basis. And it's always a very exciting and a pleasing service as I get to learn a lot by me doing this service. And now we are reading Caitanya Bhagavata, which is a very special and a unique compilation of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's transcendental Leela, especially childhood Leela. Thanks to our dearest Vrindavan Das Thakur, who has very kindly given several details about the Lord's pastimes. So this whole month, we have been having, of course, effective Vasanta Panchami onwards. Generally, there are a lot of festivities, one after the other. I'm sure all of you all would have had a wonderful Nityananda Trayodasi yesterday and would have had a wonderful Katha of Lord Nityananda. And tomorrow is Narottam Das Thakur's appearance day. We have Shivaratri coming up. We have Gaura Purnima coming up. We have Ramanavami coming up. Several wonderful festivities are coming up. It is explained that in Dwapara Yuga, when Krishna was personally performing his pastimes, there were few demoniac people who were envious of Krishna and who tried to attack him, thinking that their individual agenda may not be successful. And even though Krishna easily handled them, there were some peculiar personalities who were actually demoniac, but the way they expressed their demoniac nature was a bit funny. One set of demons, or a whole bunch of ones, they came and attacked Krishna. They attacked Krishna's devotees by their power, position, and strength. But persons like Paundraka, they handled in a different way. They posed themselves, or Paundraka himself, he posed himself as Krishna. He stuck extra 2 hands to himself and walked around with 4 hands. And he went and challenged Krishna. What did he challenge? He said that the chakra that you have actually does not belong to you. It actually belongs to me. You please give that to me. And he went on canvassing to everyone that that guy is not actually Krishna. I am Krishna. Finally, Krishna gave chakra to Paundraka, but not in his hand, but by chopping off his head. In Dwapara Yuga, we had 1 or 2 or 3 jokers like that, who made a joke of themselves. Of course, they were asuric, but dressed themselves like a, saintly, godly personalities, and eventually confused the society. But Kali Yuga, the problem increased multi-folded times. In Kali Yuga, the scenario was completely gone out of control. Every third guy started saying he is God, she is God. You have so many gods in India now, over and above what we all claim demigods and gods. There are so many gods with beards, with jata, with all concerts, having their own Kailash, having their own abode. having passport, visa arrangement to go there. Oh my God. And hefty, rich guys. When I was young, there used to be a channel meant for spiritual programs. So I very clearly remember that there used to be one Baba. I don't want to name him because it became a controversy. I'm not sure if he's still there or popular enough. But those days he used to be coming in the, in the morning program, early morning program. Generally between morning 6 and 7, they used to have this Arati, So one of the days, this guy's Arati was there. So he dressed himself like Balaji. He dressed himself like a, Tirupati Balaji. And literally he held this Arati plate and showed it to himself. Tera mujhko arpan jai jagadisha hare. All that belongs to you belongs to me. So this rascaldom increased multifolded times. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chose not to come as God. Because he thought, if I come as God himself, directly as, Supreme Lord, as he performed the Leela in other, yugas, what if all these, crazy guys classify me along with them as one of the gods? And the whole sanctity is to be, challenged. And so Mahaprabhu chose that I will come as my devotee and actually demonstrate devotional service. And he brought along with himself all the associates and actually performed a very wonderful 30 years of live demonstration, live execution of Krishna consciousness. So in our journey to Krishna consciousness, we need to remember that for us to come in contact with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, but who hid himself, who did not reveal his identity to many people, eventually is giving us access to the most transcendental, the most secret, the topmost devotional sentiments are delivered by Mahaprabhu. So we see 6 verses, nothing but Jai Jaikar. All glories, all glories, all glories, all glories, all glories. Suppose if this 6 verse becomes 60, persons like me will feel bored. Okay, Baba, all glories, what next? Is what we will say. But the heart who is really longing for Krishna Prem, the mind, the intelligence, the senses, which are already dovetailed to the process of Krishna consciousness, will never feel satiated in giving all glories to the Supreme Lord. The moment I have love for great personalities or anyone for that matter, no act towards that person will bring in satiation. And here, Vrindavan Das Thakura is actually setting a precedence of how to approach Krishna, how to approach describing the pastimes of Krishna. By the help of sunlight, we see sun also. By the help of Ganges water, we offer oblations in the same Ganges. Similarly, by the help of Supreme Lord, we are understanding, we are glorifying the Supreme Lord. There is one very nice Shaivite saying. When he glorified Lord Shiva, in one of the songs he says, Avanarulale Avantal Vanangi. Which means by his mercy, my existence, my movements, my words, my actions, my thoughts, everything actually belongs to him, comes from him. We just finished a Bhagavatam class few minutes before. We were discussing this milk ocean, churning the milk ocean pastime. So we are in the early stage of the pastime, where Brahma, along with all the demigods, have just reached Shweta Dweep. And Brahma is actually glorifying Lord Vishnu. So the glorification that Brahma is giving to Lord Vishnu is very wonderful. He says, Vipaschittam prana mano diyatmanam. He says, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is omniscient and he controls our life force, mind and intelligence. And he is the illuminator and he is never under ignorance. So the reason I want to bring this point is, as a first reflection from this current context, when we see so many Jai Jaikar, all the 6 verses are only, Jai Jaikar to Gaura Chandra, Jai Jaikar. In fact, the verse 3rd and 4th or 5th, he says, I glorify Gaura Chandra. I once again glorify Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I once again glorify Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's transcendental activities. How many times a person will be saying to his beloved, or a lady will be telling to her beloved that she loves him or he loves her? They won't just say it once and just leave it. If they really love, or quote unquote whatever love that they have in material world, they will express that again and again and again and again and again till their love exists. Whatever that love, lust, attraction exists. If even for a smallest materialistic thing, if such an attraction exists, over here, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is life and soul of all our Gaudiya Vaishnavas, for sure Vrindavan Das Thakur, he is demonstrating that if I have to glorify him, it is only by his mercy. So my first reflection has got 3 points. Number 1, Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. It is definitely with the help of Jai. It is all victory, all glories, and everything is for him. So which means I am beginning my journey and continuing my journey, and my sustenance of this journey is based on his glories, and I commence my service by that. So this is Vrindavan Das Thakura's approach, because Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is also doing the same thing. Every chapter, if you remember the beginning of the chapter, he would offer his obeisances to the Panchatattva as well as to Shashad Goswamis. The second aspect of first reflection is that we can only glorify with his help. If he doesn't help, I can't see my own hands. If the light is gone, there is no illumination coming from the sun. So if I can't, my intelligence, my knowledge, my senses, when they are all limited, how can I even approach unlimited? So it is only he who has to enable me, he who has to use me to make me glorify him. And in the entire set of all the incarnations, if anyone has done the best to make his own devotees glorify the Supreme Lord, that was Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Ramananda Rai, Jiva Goswami, Gopala Bhatta Goswami, Haridas Thakur. So many people, Mahaprabhu enabled them. He made them glorify. And he very nicely, patiently witnessed, acknowledged, relished, endorsed, and now we are the safe hands. We knew for sure Mahaprabhu personally sanctioned all these wonderful Siddhanta that is coming our way. So in the era of adulteration, in the era of complete commotion, in the era of where people claim themselves to be Bhagavans, we are in the safe hands. So Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. The third part of the first reflection is Bhakta Goshti Sahita Gauranga Jaya Jaya Sango Pangastra Parsadam. Srimad Bhagavatam says he doesn't come alone. Sango Pangastra Parshadam. He has come brought all the Parshadas together. Sunile Chaitanya Kata Bhakti Labhya Haya. All glories to Lord Gauranga along with his associates. By hearing the topics of Sri Chaitanya, one attains devotional service to the Lord. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Madchitta Madgada Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Katayantascha Mam Nityam Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. So devotees enjoy, relish the Lord's pastimes by discussing amongst themselves to such devotees. Because here Vrindavan Das Thakura is glorifying the Lord's devotees in both the verses, in almost all the verses. And he says, by being with them, by hearing the topics of Sri Chaitanya, one gets devotional service. So the third aspect of the first reflection is that just by being in the Sangha of devotees who are glorifying Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have a very wonderful privilege of getting access to devotional service. So this is my first reflection. The second reflection is, it's very wonderful. What happened was, Raghunath Das Goswami regularly used to visit Advaita Acharya. Raghunath Das Goswami's father was Advaita Acharya's friend, or he used to patronize or Advaita Acharya. So they regularly meet. So from a very young age, Raghunath Das Goswami got to hear about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When he got to hear Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he developed interest to go with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And to increase his loving emotions, time and again Advaita Acharya used to give Raghunath Das Goswami the remnants of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when he used to get the remnants of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his taste, desire, love for being with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu increased day by day. So there are multiple iterations that Raghunath Das Goswami run away from the family life, but every time Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stopped him. So this went on, and Mahaprabhu said, you have to continue your devotion within, but wait for an appropriate time till I tell you. So within his mind and heart, Raghunath Das Goswami was longing to serve Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One day Raghunath Das Goswami went and met Lord Nityananda. So Lord Nityananda chastised Raghunath Das Goswami as soon as Nityananda saw Raghunath Das Goswami, saying, "You are a thief." And Raghunath Das Goswami did not understand what it means that, he's calling me a thief. What did I steal? Nityananda Prabhu said, Chaitanya is mine. And you accessed him. You snatched him without my consent. So you are a thief. So I will punish you. And you have to feed all the Vaishnavas. So this is a very famous Pani Hati pastime. And Nityananda Prabhu happily performed the pastime. Raghunath Das Goswami happily performed the service and, fed all the Vaishnavas. At the end of the festival, Raghava Pandita had arranged a wonderful feast at his house, to which not many people were called. Nityananda Prabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Raghava Pandita's family were there. Raghunath Das Goswami was allowed in that. So after the feast, Raghunath Das Goswami got the remnants of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Not only that, Nityananda Prabhu kept his lotus feet on Raghunath Das Goswami's chest and head. The point I'm trying to drive home as a second reflection is that here Vrindavan Das Thakura, through these prayers and the kind of statements that he has made, although the truths of two brothers and their devotees are incomprehensible, they can be realized by the mercy of their lordships. And here in specific, I want to say, because we just finished Nityananda Trayodasi, it is by the mercy of Nityananda one gets to relish, participate, enjoy, and take part in the devotional service of the Supreme Lord. Jayapataka Maharaj mentioned that there is a secret that Nityananda Prabhu or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling. The secret that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling is anyone who has received the mercy of Nityananda, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to give them Krishna Prem, and that's a promise from him. So the nutshell here is the second reflection that I want to bring in here. When so many Jai cars, this is not even the actual context of Mahaprabhu's appearance. Leela has not been commenced. So the mood and the context that Vrindavan Das Thakura is setting here is for us to access, for us to participate, for us to be the recipient of the Lord's mercy, we need to learn it to channelize. If we do not learn it to channelize, somewhere or other, hodgepodge devotee. And our easiest channel is Prabhupada, Guru Varga, Goswami, Nityananda Prabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna Prem. Of course, before Prabhupada, our own spiritual masters and our own senior devotees who are giving access to that. So for us to even comprehend the incomprehensible, I don't understand what it is, but somebody educated me. Ajnana timirandasya jnananjana shalakaya. Somebody is educating me, somebody is imparting me with their blessings. So that incomprehensibility has made, it has become comprehensible or at least relatable because the mercy process, the channel of mercy is at least defined, and we know that if we are able to track that path, we will be able to get Krishna Prem. There are two types of people. One type of people is one who run inside the running train. Suppose, for example, I want to go to a destination faster. I am inside a train. The train is already moving towards the right direction. What if I run inside the train? If somebody asks you, why are you running inside the train? No, I will reach my destination faster. It's a joke, right? I mean, why would somebody do that? Because train is moving. We cannot do anything beyond that. Another type of action is, in the airport, you must have seen the flat escalators or the moving lifts or whatever you may call that. If you stand on that and don't walk, it will take you to the next place. But if you keep walking as the machine is moving, you reach still more faster. The first category is ignorant, innocent, and sometimes foolish. Where they are in the path of karma, yoga, jnana, and keep trying several things. They may even, pump up their life in such a manner that somehow I will try to accomplish something, but they will not be able to reach the destination beyond or faster than what they can. But the second category, who are walking on the moving escalator, whilst we are putting some endeavor, the Lord is also facilitating. The process is so sublime. It may apparently appear that you are walking, but you are walking faster than what others are walking. The person who are walking next to you and you may walk on the same speed. But because you are on the right path, because you are on the right track, because you are properly positioned yourself, you will be able to reach your destination faster. And the endeavor is not only by you, the Supreme Lord has made necessary arrangements. The entire mercy, is flowing to take us forward. So the incomprehensibility that Vrindavan Das Thakura is saying is made possible. So my second reflection is that for us to move forward in Krishna consciousness, we need to somehow learn to be in the right track. If we chose the wrong track, we will be classified stupid, foolish, innocent, ignorant. Maybe you are in the train going in the right direction. This is what in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu chapter 1, Rupa Goswami is explaining. When he is explaining about Kleshagni. Several processes purify the heart, but no processes have purified the heart as much as devotional service would purify. Prarabdha and apararabdha may be eliminated, can be purified by even karma yoga, jnana yoga process. But the kutam and bijam cannot be uprooted, cannot be removed by every process. So long as the seed and the propensity are within us, we still have the virus within us. We are not fully clean from the pandemic. You may have booster shots. You may have vaccinations. But are we clean? No. We are still, having suspicious arrangement that probably, what if it relapses? So hence my second reflection is that the Supreme Lord's Ajanu Lambita Bujau Kanakavadhatau Sankirtanai Kapitarau Kamalaya Takshau Vishwambarau Dvijabarau Yuga Dharma Palau Vande Jagat Priyakarau Karunavataro. So hence the mercy that we have been blessed with, which we have not even processed it enough. The wealth that we have been bestowed with, we have not even fully accessed it, is itself so, relishable, so tasty, what to speak of, fully living through that. So the second reflection is, we are thanks to all the mercies that are flown towards us, given towards us by Srila Prabhupada, all the Vaishnava Acharyas, and in turn Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu themselves, by which we will be able to glorify them, appreciate them, and be a special, unique candidate in this Kali Yuga. This privilege is not available to many. A third reflection. We have got Jai Jaikar, we glorified the Supreme Lord, we acknowledge the mercy that is coming our way. Now, what are we supposed to do with that mercy? His Holiness Giriraj Maharaj is he made a very interesting point that Prabhupada had said. He says that let us learn to become stubborn servant of Krishna. Because here, Vrindavan Das Thakura is saying that just by hearing the topics of Sri Chaitanya, one attains devotional service to the Lord. And if somebody is getting an access to devotional service, naturally somebody is going to constantly chase you, which is Krishna's Maya energy and Kali Yuga's Kali Purusha. The natural arrangement is, anytime you want to do something good, there is somebody who will come after you to make a hell out of your life. So when we are trying hard, to move forward in a direction, because we have received the mercy, because we have understood, heard, and acknowledged that all the wonderful glories are coming from the Supreme Lord, because He's like sun, like Krishna, Surya Saman, Mayahar, Antahar. So what are we supposed to do? Supposed to translate into application, so much so that we are stubborn enough to never give up, with the never give up attitude. I never heard this, narration before, this usage of stubborn servant of Krishna. Since I heard at least 3-4 days before, 5 days before I heard this, my head is reeling on this, that how can we become stubborn servant of Krishna? Because the entire Gaudiya, you see the Gaudiya clan, all the Gaudiya Vaishnava followers, what they have demonstrated, they demonstrated that at any cost, Harinam Sankirtan will be practiced. So we have examples of somebody who have demonstrated extreme sense of humility. This Vasudeva, the devotee who had leprosy in South India, extreme sense of humility and tolerance. His leprosy in his body, worms were eating and, biting him. And because of the pus oozing out, some of the worms were falling out, or because of him scratching, something was falling out. He picked it up, picked those worms and put it back, thinking that because of my scratching, I am making these worms bereft of their rights. I'm not even, when I think of it, I cannot even comprehend. Some extreme sense of tolerance, humility, and devotion. We have seen in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Lila some extreme, intense pracharaks who go out and out, right? To go everywhere, door to door, to spread the Sankirtan mission. Nityananda Prabhu, Haridas Thakur, and a whole bunch of his associates. We have devotees who have got extremely scholarly by giving the Siddhanta in a much lucid, wonderful. Somebody demonstrated extreme sense of renunciation, Raghunath Das Goswami. Somebody had demonstrated extreme sense of sincerity and seriousness in his practices. So we can keep on listing how devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they have shown, come what may in their life, they will not give up. Prabhupada, for that matter. So my third reflection hence is that when the Lord is going to appear, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his appearance are going to be glorified, hopefully in the next one or two speakers, they will, I don't know how many verses they will take. Mahaprabhu's appearance narration is going to be beginning. So the mood, the environment, the context is so vibrant that Mahaprabhu is going to appear. That avatar who is not come, who doesn't come every Kali Yuga, that incarnation, not many people are able to understand him or relate to him. That incarnation, who is amazingly beneficent, magnanimous, and merciful, at least when we learn to do that, should we not have a never give up attitude? Come what may, I will stay and stick to the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Come what may in my life, may poverty strike me, may disease come upon me, may my family leave me alone, may my friends disrespect me, disregard me. Sripad Madhavendra Puri is glorifying this. Sripad Madhavendra Puri is saying, some Vedantists may say that we are not properly situated. Some moralists may say that we are immoral or amoral, or we are not, highly moral because of our, giving too much importance to spiritual aspect and overlooking certain karma kanda. Some family members, friends, society, several people may accuse. A very interesting words that Srila Prabhupada is, referring this. Madhavendra Puri is telling the 6 different classifications of people may accuse me, but I will not relinquish, because Brajendra Nandana hoy, Brajendra Nandana say, Sachi Suta hoilo say, Balarama hoilo nitai. Because Brajendra Nandan and Balaram, they both have come down for us, to deliver us. So I am committed to serve. So as a part of that reflection, I want to just add, whilst I am desiring to be a stubborn servant of Krishna, I am also equally understanding that I cannot be so stubborn to disregard the evil effects of Maya and Kali. So I will be making sure that I will not be lax. I will not be senseless. I will not be careless and let Maya and Kali act upon me. So I am stubborn enough to be a servant of Krishna, but not so stubborn to say that Maya cannot attack me, Kali cannot attack me. I will be definitely be careful enough in making sure that I will be afraid of Maya, afraid of Kali, afraid of Vaishnava Aparad, afraid of those things which will take me away from such nonsenses. That is why you see in every pages of Chaitanya Lila or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's disciples or followers description, you will see both the sense of commitment and conviction and sense of being careful. And careful meaning they show a sense of humility, tolerance, and submission, surrender, acknowledgement, saying that my existence is only dependent on you. And they repeatedly say this because at no point in time they want to claim the credit for all the wonderful successes that they have created. So in our journey as practitioners, we need to remember that when we are approaching the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, when we are trying to learn and relish the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is considered as the most munificent, merciful incarnation, We can definitely be a stubborn servant of Krishna by subscribing to the Sankirtan Yajna. At the same time, we be very careful and show our fear towards Maya and Kali. This is my personal experience. In my earlier days of Krishna consciousness, I was very arrogant. I'm not sure I'm any better now, but I very clearly remember during my school days, this is in 1989, September, that's when Krishna's mercy, some devotees showed some love and care upon me and gave Krishna consciousness. At the time, I was in my grade 7th. And initial days, many wonderful services, wonderful opportunities, wonderful Vaishnava Sangha. Just because, I had the privilege of playing Mridanga and being part of the Sankirtan. Those days, Mridanga players were not so quite common, at least in our Yatra. So I was always in the front and get the privilege to hang around to who is who of ISKCON at those days. So at some point in time, very soon I developed some sense of arrogance. And I thought to, realize that I have the best process. I am subscribing to the best, ideal, wonderful process, because in the lectures, whatever little bit, I could hear and, the speakers used to speak, they used to always glorify this Sankirtan mission, how special they are. And Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavata as it is. So I used to come and look at my parents and family members and friends as like, you guys are stupid, you see. I know Krishna, I know Bhagavad Gita, I am associated with the Krishna consciousness process. I used to give them a damn. I mean, with all due respects, they all are so, experienced senior people, but I had the sense of arrogance. Later I realized, I repented. The reason I'm saying this is in the journey of Krishna consciousness, when we are becoming a stubborn servant of Krishna, when we are becoming sincere servant of Krishna, when we are becoming committed servant of Krishna, so we need to learn to also show the sense of mood that Vrindavan Das Thakura is demonstrating here. Jai Jaikar. It is because of the Vaishnava's mercy. It is because of Mahaprabhu's mercy. There's a very famous song by Devaki Nandan Das. We have already, several times referred it here in this forum. Vrindavana Vasi Jata Vaishnave Ragan Pratame Vandana Kari Sabara Charan Neela Chalavasi Jata Mahaprabhurgan Bhumite Podiya Vandon Sabara Charan Navadvipa Vasi Jata Mahaprabhur Bhakta Sabara Charana Vandon Hayanu Rakta. The whole song is nothing but glorification of devotees. This Devakinandan Das is no other than Gopala Chappal. Gopala Chappal, after he offended Srivas Thakur moved on because nobody can stop a Vaishnava from his service. But Gopala Chappal developed leprosy, so acute leprosy that nobody could cure. So he went into such an extreme distressful state. He ran to Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu denied. I said, I can't help you. If you want to go and ask Nityananda, let him see what he can do for you. And he went to Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu said, my suggestion is go to Gopal, Srivas Thakur. If Srivas Thakur forgives you, I guess you have a hope. So he came back to Srivas Thakur. And eventually Srivas Thakur directed him to Purushottam Das Thakur, and eventually he instructed him, directed him, and explained him about the importance of glorifying Vaishnavas. Madhavananda Prabhu was explaining that how in a Vaishnava Acharya tradition, in Vaishnava's tradition, in Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, the mood is always that I am available as a servant and ready to worship everyone's lotus feet. So this whole song, which has got like 11, 12 stanzas, Devakinandan Das, who was Gopala Chappal, once offended Srivas Thakur, became such a sincere servant, Vaishnava Das. He kept on glorifying Vaishnavas. Hoya chene hoi bene prabhurja das. Hoya chene means those who had been a devotee in the past. Hoi bene, those who are going to become a devotee. Whoever has not even become a devotee is glorifying them. The reason is this process is so sublime. So hence my third reflection is about how we need to understand, accept, inherit the mood that Vrindavan Das Thakura is demonstrating here for welcoming the Lord, for glorifying the Lord, for appreciating the Lord. It is his contribution. But look at the way he is approaching. I'm sure, I was just thinking, if I know a subject matter, how will I come and present it? I will boast it off. I will go and claim that I know this, I know that, give so many, gimmicks to my presentation. But look at the mood and approach. I'm just, if you can imagine, once His Holiness Prahladananda Maharaj mentioned this in our ILS, ISKCON Leadership Sangha. He said, he read from one of the chapters from Krishna book. I'm not sure if you all are aware. One of the leading Prabhupada book readers in ISKCON is His Holiness Prahladananda Maharaj. He has read Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita 104 times. So in Mumbai GBC meetings in a few years before, 4 or 5 years before, they gave an award to him because every day he used to read. So that day when he was reading, he was actually reading from Krishna book, one paragraph, but without seeing Krishna book, which means he has by-hearted the entire text. So that he read from the Krishna book about the seasons in Vrindavan, how the spring season and the seasons in Vrindavan, how the birds were chirping and stuff like that. Prabhupada has given a very wonderful narration. Of course, Sukadeva Goswami has done that. So at that time, Maharaj explained a very wonderful point. He said that when you read such, context, what do you take home? What do you carry back with you? Okay, seasons are there, so what? It's not like that. He said, we imagine about many things. We imagine about when I get money, what type of house I will buy, what type of car I will buy, what type of things I will do. Those imaginations are futile imaginations because they are not going to survive for a long time. If you ever want to imagine, if you ever want to comprehend, if you ever want to dwell, please read these types of literatures, and as much as possible, you try to visualize, you try to transport yourself to that particular mood or scene. So he was then demonstrating to the entire class. So he read by line. So there was a cool breeze. He said, close your eyes and feel there's a cool breeze, bird chirping, fragrance from the flowers. Then Krishna's flute sound is coming our way. I mean, he says that, of course, don't go to extreme to become like really some sort of a sahajiya. That's not the intent. The intent is, can we participate? Can we emulate? Can we understand the mood that acharyas are bringing in when we are trying to read, or when we are trying to, in fact, associate ourselves with scriptures? Because when we associate ourselves with scriptures, seldom we see, or at least by and large, when I see people in Kali Yuga, they carry the knowledge. But the acharya's intent is not to give us knowledge. The purpose of this is to give us love. Make us develop that love, attachment, attraction, bonding with the Supreme Lord. So hence the third reflection is, can we become stubborn servant of Krishna and eventually try to make sure that we are not arrogant, stubborn enough to say that Maya cannot touch me, Kali cannot touch me. Rather, I would be very careful and make sure I fear for Maya and hence stay away from anything that will pollute my consciousness. So there are several things that can be said. I'm limiting myself to the time that we have, where this Gaudiya Vaishnava devotees are very special, and their speciality is that they are, the real Gaudiyas are all encompassing. They're very kind. They have very, very, very broad-minded, and they have this very sincere sense of Jive Daya. So I'm highly indebted to all those wonderful Vaishnavas who have shown their love and care and concern for all of us, because of which we got Sri Caitanya Bhagavata, we got Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, we got to be part of this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sankirtan mission. So thank you so much for giving this opportunity to be part of this wonderful journey. And I'm sure Krishna has a special plan for all of us. We will see ourselves, changing and making some progress in our spiritual journey. Shri Shri Gaurnitai ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Bhagavat ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. Any questions or comments or reflections?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much. It was such a beautiful, beautiful class. When you started off, you were talking about so many Jaya, Jaya, Jaya. And sometimes if you've not developed, obviously, love of God, it's like, why are they going on Jaya, Jaya, Jaya? That's how I feel every time when I see a set of verses. But then you so beautifully explain that thread of, that whole thing till the end, that to attain love of God, first you really need to catch hold of the mercy of our Purvacharyas, and especially you did highlight about Lord Nityananda, and then all our Acharyas, and develop very firm faith and have that stubborn Krishna bhakti. At the same time, remember Maya's behind your back. So that whole show was so beautiful. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Really, really very inspiring class. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Anyone else have any questions or comments or some reflections, corrections?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I like the song that glorifying the devotees. Vrindavanavasi Yat Gaudachan and Mahaprabhu Purushottam Jagannath Kshetra. Very nice song, glorifying the devotees.
Very wonderful song. Actually, the very confidential and serious Gaudiya Vaishnavas, like how we sing Sri Guru Charana Padma every day to do Guru Puja. I was told that some very ardent Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they sing this song as an everyday prayer to set their mood, to say that it's only their mercy, it is only their Vaishnavas, karuna upon me will make me to be, somewhat useful in this life. So probably, if you all, if you all desire, we can also inculcate this habit. Whether we sing the song or not is, individualist choice. But the mood is that every day I tell myself that I am whoever I am. It is because of somebody else's mercy upon me.
It's very nice class. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. If nobody has any question.
Mataji, Paneshwari Lakshmi Mataji has question. Yeah, Mataji, go ahead, Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna,
Okay.
Prabhuji. Thank you so much. This was a beautiful class. Came on a little bit late, but I came on at a very important point when you were speaking about humility. I loved your analogy of the escalator and the train. But more than that, that whole mood of how you were saying that used to be very arrogant, and I can relate very much to that. And it is a very, very hard process to get over that. And I'm still trying. I have a tendency of forgetting that I got here, not by any of my own steam. It's only because my Guru Maharaj so mercifully took, compassion, on me and allowed me to enter into this family. How do we, as I said, this arrogance or this, I know better than you. I can tell you how it is. That how do we get over that, as well as I am doing this service, I am doing such great things with my life, and you are ABC, whatever. How do we, control that? Because there's a fear that, maybe I shouldn't do this because it's going to my head. But that if we don't do it, we're going to sink. We know that. We have to get out of Maya. So how do you balance that? I hope that makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense, and I'm just, thinking probably as I speak to you, I'll speak for myself. I can think of only three things. One thing I have definitely learned in my life is the moment we start to express by words both our challenges as well as our appreciation, we get some results. For example, suppose if I have a difficulty, suppose I have a challenge or I have a difficulty that I am struggling with. If I am able to openly express it out to a right person, just by the expression, my difficulty is reduced. If not full, it is substantially reduced. This is my personal experience. Similarly, when we learn to appreciate, when I learn to acknowledge and recognize, what I have seen is that when we see such glorification, Jaya Jayas and Jai Jaikars and giving credit. There's a saying in English, give credit where credit is due. So we think that how do I give that credit? One of the obvious ways, actually what is explained in Krishna book, in the chapter Nalakuvara and Manigriva, when they were delivered, so they are standing in front of Krishna and they are feeling very much ashamed because they have done some nonsense, dirty nonsense, and delivered them. And they are saying, Krishna, what can we give it to you? We can't give anything to you because you have everything. But we can fold our hands, bow down, offer our obeisances to you, and give ourselves to you, because there is nothing that you don't have. The only thing that you don't have is us, because we are not with you. We have not been with you. So most of the times, if you think, what does Krishna doesn't have? Us, because we are not with them. We are in the jail. So my first, approach to help us to not be an arrogant person is, because if I am arrogant, I will not be able to appreciate. There's a very nice book by Satsarup Maharaj called Appreciation. The title of the book is Appreciation and some suffix is there. So he says that the more a person learn to appreciate, not flatter, not to be conjuicy or be miserly. If somebody can regularly appreciate Vaishnavacharyas and fellow Vaishnavas, the sense of arrogance within us will be relatively suppressed or cleansed. Because I won't be able to say, Panishwari Mataji, you are such a wonderful devotee and you are able to regularly attend Krishna Katha and regularly relish this Krishna consciousness. For me to say that publicly or even to personally, I might need some sense of surrender, some sense, at least 10, 15, 20, 30%. And if we still not have that sense and we only do a lip service, then we are only going to face the consequences. So my first reflection is, can we learn to put in practice to regularly appreciate, genuinely appreciate, not flatter, not be miserly, genuinely appreciate our fellow Vaishnavas, by which acknowledgement and some sort of a recognition to those Vaishnavas will make us realize that it is not me, it is them. The second thing that I have learned, or it works, is at times or regularly doing menial services, especially when we are becoming little quote unquote senior devotees. If you take a broom or if you go, Krishna, look at our shoe stand of Yudhishthira Maharaj. Why he has to do that? Krishna is king of Dwaraka, but he chose to look after a shoe stand in Ashwamedha Yajna when Yudhishthira Maharaj was performing. So many times we have to remind ourselves that we need to engage ourselves in some services where it is not profiled, where it is not recognized, but at the same time it is service for the pleasure of Guru and Gauranga. So in Vaishnava tradition, they explain, Vaishnava is like a salt. Can we really be salt-like? Which means a salt in the food makes the food very tasty, but the recognition doesn't go to the salt. It goes to various other people, but he doesn't show off that I did it because of me I'm tasty. So they say that there are 4 qualities. One is Vaishnava is like a salt, a Vaishnava is like a cock, A Vaishnava is like a crane, and a Vaishnava is very humble. So salt-like, and one of the easiest way to become salt-like is, can we learn to do some background services also? Some services where you don't not recognize, but you're supposed to do menial service, cleaning the toilets, cleaning bathrooms, doing certain things, not in our houses only, but in also temple and ashrams and places, which are definitely menial, which will actually check our arrogance. In fact, one of the fantastic services Prabhupada introduced was this book distribution. I'm not sure. I'm sure all of you in US are, enabled book distributors. But in book distribution, many of our ego is crushed. Of course, if you become a profiled book distributor, that's a different problem. But sometimes people challenge you, humiliate you, insult you. One time when we went for book distribution, one person literally, caught hold of our neck and, threw us out of the house. So, and we enjoyed, we laughed at it. In professional lives, we will not laugh at it. We'll give a punch on his face. But this all services make us little, calm down. So menial services are something that I have definitely learned. It works. If you do some menial services, of course, Vyasasana service is also a menial service, but provided that mood, to come, Vyasasana service is also a menial service, will take some time because people give you garland, people say, Jai Jai Prabhu, very nice, this, that. So we dwell on that. Yesterday I was talking to a devotee. The biggest challenge is somebody tells me you're a very nice devotee when we start believing them that we are very nice devotees. So to make us come out of that, we need to do some menial service. And the third, and one of the steps that I always, seek is, can we very strongly at least pray and express our inability to come out of the arrogance to the Lord. So the Lord says, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, whatever results you are getting is directly proportionate to the desires that you have. If you say you desire for it, do you have that desire enough, burning desire enough, that you really mean it? Sometimes we say, I also desire, but we don't mean it. We just state it for forum or we state it for some public arrangement. So when we desire, burning desire, Krishna says, Upadrishta Anumantacha Bharta Bhokta Maheshwaraha. So if I really desire for it, my actions, my thoughts will be, changed, but at least in the first place, Krishna will acknowledge. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that whatever your desires are, that will be manifesting in your action. So what we are is what we desire, and can we desire, and our desire can be expressed as prayer to the Lord. Because sometimes we don't know what our desires are. So we can actually very frankly, honestly, transparently talk to the Lord and desire, express your desire. And we can say our inabilities also. I desire this, but I can't make it. I desire this, I can't make it. So these are all some techniques that, we keep trying and still not yet there, but at least there's a hope that we will make it. I hope it makes some sense, Mataji.
That makes perfect sense. And thank you so very much. It's very, very helpful. And I will definitely put those into practice. Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Thank
Prabhu.
you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. What a beautiful answer, Prabhuji. Such a nice question, Pareshwari Lakshmi Mataji. Even the same problem with me, but your question helped me. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Such a beautiful answer. Very nice. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. One of the advantages of being in Vaishnava Sangha is that, like how in sometimes when we go to college and attend exams, oh, you also found this question paper tough, is it? Oh, you also found this question paper tough, is it? We all had this, solace that I am not the only one who is failing. Somebody else is also failing. So let us all collectively help each other. That's the kind of spirit that we get when we know that, yes, this is a really, Krishna acknowledged this to Arjuna. When Arjuna said that I can control the wind but not the mind, what did Krishna say? Krishna says, I agree, Arjuna, it is difficult. And this word I agree is not for Krishna. Krishna empathized on Arjuna's shoes and responded. So when we get several devotees empathizing us and stating the same thing, we develop some hope saying that can we help each other. Sometimes when we are alone, doing a lone battle in certain things in Krishna consciousness, we won't be able to fight it out. When we are collectively holding our hands together as a family, as a union, for sure Kali and Maya will have a tough time to reach out and shake us down. So I guess that's why Srila Prabhupada created this family bonding, so that we can help each other and eventually give a good tough fight to Maya. Any other thoughts, comments, reflections, questions?
Prabhuji.
Okay, so probably we can end the session.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for very nice enlightening class and also answers to all the questions. Thank you very much. We look forward to your association again in future. And I guess nobody had any question. So by your mercy, permission, can end the call. Vansha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu patitanam pavanebhyo
Namo Namaha.
Somebody has a question?
Jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for the beautiful class.
Prabhuji, thank you. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Nice
Thank you
class.
so much, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Shri Chaitanya Bhagavad Ki Jai, Shri
Jai.
Prabhupada
Shri Jai.
Ramgiridhari Prabhuji.
Jai.
Yeah.
Jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, everyone, for joining today's class.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you all, Matajis.